Bosa's recovery from knee surgery. This is very interesting. Would you like to take this?
Absolutely. I would like to lead on this one. There are certain controversial topics, and this is one. So I want to set it up as responsibly as I can. The biggest topic on the team, from my point of view right now, is the quarterback competition. The second biggest is Bosa's knee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bosa is a great player, and they want him to continue to be a great player. And he's really been hurt and had a serious surgery. So I emailed with someone recently. I can't say who it is, and he's not connected with the Niners, but he knows all about athletic injuries. His read on Bosa is that the team feels that his knee is older than the rest of his body, and that what they're trying to do is give him as little practice time as possible so his knee won't be a problem. And I wrote that in a tweet. I didn't ascribe it to anyone, but I got it from an expert who is not associated with the Niners and has not examined Bosa.
Of course.
And a lot of people got angry, which is fine. What the hell? You put that stuff out there. But then, Iggy, yesterday, your friend, Dr. Nirav Panja.
Who's the best?
And what a lovely man. And he wrote on my Twitter that he didn't think that was quite accurate, that when someone comes back from an ACL, that the first 3 to 4 months after they actually start practice are very, very serious. And you want to, he used the word load, which he had used on a video with you. You want to limit their practice load so they don't get sore and perhaps re-injure. And
Nick Bosa spoke a couple of days ago and said he was feeling soreness.
He was feeling soreness. That's interesting that he was so honest. So what the Dr. Panja said is, don't read too much into it because it's standard practice to limit the load. So what I want to say is, I maybe he doesn't have a knee older than his body, but what I think we could agree on, Iggy, is that he has a knee that's an issue.
Oh yeah,
a knee that's an issue, and they need to manage it one way or another. Yes. And a lot depends on how well they manage it and he manages it. Would you agree with what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes. If the Niners, I think we all think the Niners can make the playoffs this year, but if the Niners are going to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, then Bosa has to be 100%.
Okay. And what they're trying to do is keep him 100%.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, in practice, again, you're there, I'm not. What is he doing? What does he do?
Okay. So he didn't do anything on day 3. He had a day off, but days 1, 2, and 4. Here's how practice works. There's a walkthrough. They kind of all stand around. He does that. Then there's stretching. He does that. Then they break up into positional units, and they'll, practice the basics of their craft against no one. Just the basic motions, going through the motions and getting a sweat up. He'll do that. And then there'll be the competition parts of practice where there's physical contact, 1-on-1, 11-on-11. He doesn't do that. Okay. I don't know when.
I'm sorry.
And I don't know when he will.
Okay. Why do you think it's what Dr. Panja said? They just don't want him pushing on other people.
Certainly.
All of that.
Yeah. He could get hurt. He could have a setback.
Okay.
And again, they've had so many injuries in practice. They're probably trying to limit that. And that's the right thing to do. But it's important to note that one of the most important players on the team in the league is kind of not having a training camp, really.
So would it be fair to say that they're clearly doing the right thing?
Yes.
But we really don't know how good his knee is right now because he's not tested it.
True. And he's not the only person on this team that's getting this treatment. D4 does the same thing. I don't even know what his injury is, neck, back, and knee. He warms up, doesn't practice. Javon Kinlaw, same thing. First round pick last year, has an arthritic knee, had a knee scope this year to clean it out, re-injured it traveling this offseason, participated in OTAs, got hurt, now is doing the same thing as Bosa and D4. That's 3/4 of the starting defensive line. And then there's this third round pick from a couple of years ago, Jalen Hurd, who tore his ACL last year. He missed the last 2 practices, wasn't even there. God knows what's going on with him. So there's 4 or 5 guys who are getting kid glove treatment.
Hurd you haven't even seen?
No. Oh, there's one more guy getting the maintenance treatment. George Kittle.
Ooh, let's talk about him, Iggy.
This is actually the most important because Bosa, he's right on schedule. He tore his ACL less than a year ago. He's back on the field. Kittle didn't tear an ACL. Kittle broke his foot, and then he came back and played 2 games and looked healthy. And now he's getting maintenance days as if, I mean, I don't know what the hell a maintenance day is. To me, it indicates there's some kind of soreness, and they're trying to make sure it doesn't become something bigger. But like older players like Trent Williams and Alex Mack didn't have a day off, but he needed one. And I find that really like, there must be something we don't know that we haven't been told.
Iggy, which day did he miss?
He missed yesterday.
So he missed Saturday.
Yeah, and we couldn't ask Kyle Shanahan about it because Shanahan didn't talk yesterday. So we don't know what's going on with him or Hurd. Kittle or Hurd.
Let's stay with Kittle a minute. Don't you love it? The one day that this great tight end doesn't practice, there's no one to talk to about it.
Yes.
It would make my lunch want to come up in my throat, things like that. And
it's just funny how it goes in the NFL. It seems like these kids are just relentless, and they do what they got to do. They never miss practices. They're never hurt, and they get this huge contract, and then funny things happen.
Well, he got his contract. How many games did he miss last season?
8.
8 out of 16.
Yep.
And Iggy, and now he's needed a maintenance day, but as far as we know, there was nothing wrong with him.
Uh-huh.
So what we're seeing about Kittle is he's missing things.
Yeah, Fred Warner isn't. Trent Williams isn't, but he is.
Yeah.
28 years old. What's that? Mike McGlinchey, every day there, acting like a captain. I'm just saying, what's the deal? I'd like to know. He's very important. He needs to be there. This team is going nowhere if George Kittle plays 8 games. So what's the deal?
And if he needs a maintenance day, however you define a maintenance day, what in the world is going on? And you can't ask until tomorrow, Monday?
Correct. Yes.
Someone needs to ask Iggy.
Well, we'll see if he practices. And then we'll see. Yeah,
I got it. If he practices, the issue is over. When he practices, does he practice at full speed, Kittle?
Yeah, but he hardly gets the ball anymore. It's the funniest thing. Before he got the contract, he'd get like 5 or 6 catches a day in practice. Like, man, this guy is unguardable. He's a maniac. He's the hardest working, best player of all time. Now it's like, did Kittle practice today? Oh yeah, no, he caught one. I remember, he was on the field. But it's like, no, Debo gets 6 catches, Ayuk gets 6 catches, Kittle's kind of in and out. I just don't get it. He's so important, and he used to be everywhere, and now he's MIA.
Well, maybe he missed practice yesterday because his feelings were hurt.
Possible. It is possible. Yeah.
It's possible.
Well, he missed practice, and Ross Dwelly made like this unbelievable leaping, spinning catch 25 yards downfield. So all I got to say is 2 words: Wally Pip. Watch out, George. Tony says the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Grant and Lowell have the most intellectually honest conversations about the Niners of all the writers. Thank you both, even though we disagree often. Tony, that was very, very nice.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Brett's the guy who did the long interview with me originally a couple of months ago. What are you seeing or not seeing from Kinlaw? Yeah, we just touched on it, but he's getting the same exact treatment as Nick Bosa. And the thing is, Bosa was good as a rookie. Kinlaw wasn't. Kinlaw has to improve now, and he's not on the field to do so. So that's not good. But his backups are all playing really well, which is good news for the Niners, not good news for him.
Iggy, I have another related question to ask you.
Certainly.
Is Nick Bosa a superstar?
What's a superstar?
George Kittle.
No. He's played 1 season. No. You can't be a superstar after 1 season and 9 sacks. He has the potential to be a superstar the way Kyle Shanahan has the potential to win a Super Bowl, but no, not yet.
By the way, I agree with you. That's why I asked the question. He was a hell of a player, but then he missed the whole season, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's bad. Now, when he played that season, he was very good. He did a lot of good things. But Iggy, he fell down a lot.
Yes.
He does fall down a lot.
He is the favorite of advanced stat guys because there's like regular stats like sacks and quarterback hits, and he's kind of, good, not great in those stats, but there's like advanced stats, which are totally subjective, called pressures. How often do you beat the guy in front of you and get close to the quarterback? How do you even define that? But there are certain companies that try to do it, and he's the pressure king. the pressure king. And some people say pressure is even better than sacks, which doesn't make, it's like saying a ground rule double is better than a home run. But I'm not going to get into that.
That's interesting. Okay.
He's the pressure king. And the reason he doesn't quite get all the sacks is Alden Smith had like 36 inch arms, and Bosa has like 32-inch arms. So to actually finish, he kind of has to dive and lunge and get an ankle, whereas Alden Smith will swallow you up like a python. It's just a little different. He does fall a lot. You're right.
So he's the pressure king. And if they have him, boy, are they tough. And,
yeah,
and if they get D Ford, which I don't think they are, but if they get D Ford, wow. Okay.
Keyword is if. Tony says these maintenance days are simply the Niners being rightfully paranoid about injuries. It's better for them to miss practice than miss games. Yeah, sure. What injury does Kittle have? I'd like to know. What is he maintaining? His foot? I don't know. Don't forget, Kittle needs to be in there to block. His receiving abilities are a bonus, especially if Debo and Brandon Ayuk are on point. So you're telling me the Niners are paying George Kittle $16 million a year to block? Don't think so. That's wide receiver money. He needs to produce yards and touchdowns and catches. How's Wisnowski looking? I'll report back. I need to go back. I need to give Wisnowski his due, the punter. I tend to not watch too much special teams, and that's probably an oversight on my part.